Hello, everyone. Good morning. Thank you for joining us again for today's meditation. Actually, today is a very special day because actually today is Jodo-e. Jodo-e is a commemoration of the Buddha's own enlightenment. And that is the story of Prince Siddhartha as he's going through the training and practicing that he sat under the Bodhi tree after resolving himself to sit and not move from that place until he attained enlightenment. Um, the time that he has woken up to see the star, etc. This is a wonderful commemoration of the earthly practice of Prince Siddhartha becoming Shakyamuni Buddha, the sage of the Shakya clans. And it's interesting because many people from the outside makes Buddhism look like very religious. But the Buddha is simply here to serve for us as a motivating and, I believe, an example that such a state can be obtained in our life through our efforts, through our practice. So that is the hope of and the purpose of the Buddha's teaching, as he says in chapter 16, Jigage, which we chant very often and is the core of our practice. It states that simply the mind of the Buddha's and his only purpose is to cause all living beings to attain enlightenment quickly and efficiently to become Buddhas. That's what he's always thinking. That means that is his purpose. It's important that we understand that as we've been going through setting up a practice, etc., we understand that purpose because there will be days that will be difficult to wake up. If we've gone to sleep a little later, if you've had some turmoil or challenges, etc., you may think, okay, I need time to do that or to focus on that, etc. But what is essential is that no matter what is happening, that you keep this practice. That is essentially what, and keep going. And if you miss a day of practice, come back to it. It's constant coming back. So you may think that I simply became easy to practice no matter what happens. And first of all, it's not easy. And then second of all, it is not a take time. It took me a lot of time, many, many years. I've been practicing Buddhism since I'm about 17 years old. And through that, through the different stages of life, there's been difficulty as far as keeping a consistent practice. However, the one thing that constantly builds on that, and again, that's rebuilding ourselves, understanding ourselves, deepening the hue of our awareness, is just keep coming back to it. And it's amazing because it's a place that we can come back to at all times. So just remember that. Master Tiantai says in the Makashikan that, you know, this practice, our practice is wonderful because, many people try to cure the disease of suffering, as we see even with the disease of the body or mind, etc., through medicine. But medicine, especially at that time, was very difficult to find and expensive. Same even now. In some countries, we're very blessed here that we may have medicine readily available, but there are countries that don't have the resources we have. There are places in this world that still exist like that. However, we can have this practice and use it at any time, costing nothing, right? And also, it's always available because it's within ourselves. So we should really deeply have a deep appreciation. And that's why that's the sixth part of it, the ofuse. The idea of giving, it says, but it also needs appreciation. We give because we appreciate, right? We can see the bigger picture. We can, deep down inside, understand the interdependence of all beings, right? So, therefore, in our practice, let us appreciate today, especially the our founder Shakyamuni Buddha. But it's important to know simply worshiping the Buddha is not enough to attain enlightenment. You can concentrate. There are some practices that people do that through invoking the name, etc. However, it's very important that there is a component of our responsibility, no matter what practice that you have, okay, that we have to ultimately develop ourselves. That is what the Buddha wants. So whichever practice that you have, that you use with this sitting meditation, it's important to understand and develop one's own, as we would say, one's faith, or people would say endeavoring or motivation, because and understand the sheer importance of our practice, the meaning of why we do it. And I think that once we understand the meaning of life and death, we are easily motivated towards this practice. Because again, of all the things that I would give up or stop, etc., I know no matter what the situation is, even when I'm not feeling well, is to the essential is having this practice and using it and doing it however I can. So even if I'm too sick to sit up, I will try to do it in my bed or lying down in extreme circumstances. Other than that, I come to this place that I can physically do that. Let's sit, okay? So let's prepare ourselves for meditation. If you're a little stiff again in the morning, just move your arms. Don't create a sweat. This is not exercise. This is just simply preparing our body. My neck tends to be one of those sticking spots. Using just the movement of my body and the weight, this is actually quite difficult because you have to relax in it, where a lot of times my body is extremely tense. But here I use the movement of my body and my head is just simply swivel. Put up our shoulders, drop. Tense them up for a minute, drop. Make sure we rotate them back. Let's take our posture. Make sure you have 3 points of contact, either your knees and backside or your backside and feet if you're sitting in a chair. Correct our hands into Hokai join. We'll do 3 purifying breaths. Breathing in and exhaling through our mouth for the count of 3, 5, 7. Let us begin. First round. Second round. Third round. Now let's find our posture. We can move a little bit left to right, like a pendulum, making it smaller front to back. Once we find our posture, you want to sit there, Hokai join, tuck in your chin. Again, you can just your head as such. Ears over the shoulders. Teeth gently closed, tongue top of the mouth. Gently close your eyes. And with this, let us begin our concentration. As we hear the bell, we're going to breathe through our nose. Exhaling, inhaling, simply watching at the sound of the bell. Let us begin. As we hear the bell, let us release our attention, our concentration, coming back to our bodies. Let's take a moment to scan our body and mind to see. Be mindful of the trace, again, not judging, but simply watching. Let's come back to our body. Start to do that by being aware of the air, the cold coming back into the body itself, moving our fingers, our toes gently, moving. And I do apologize, you may not be able to see the stream due to the internet or camera. I do apologize. So I'm just going to continue speaking. So today, for Jodoe, we can be able to uh, do a little extra sitting. This is usually one tradition, extra chanting, whatever your basic practice is, um, in the morning or evening. So if after our sitting practice you would like to continue, of course you should each morning with your morning tradition. But sometimes during the day or in the evening, sit or chant for or pray for an extra um, amount of time. So this is one of those days in some temples they sit over the evening, on the night before, as coming into the morning, Buddha awoken into enlightenment. So thank you very much. Please have a wonderful day, and we'll see you next time.